So he obviously knew the game a lot better than I did.
All right, we are getting set to go here. Parker in the, I don't know, what do you think? The blacks and the whites and the golds?
As a Parker alum and former player along with Tom Murphy, we don't like the uniform tops, but that's just our personal opinion. They look like they look like something you'd wear in basketball warm-ups.
All right.
And it's black.
Opening pitch from Stone is a strike as Blomgren squared to bunt and drew back, but it's 0-1. Craig in the blues with the white lettering and red accents. 0-1 pitch coming from Stone. That is in there for strike two.
That's what he wants to do, pound the strike zone.
Yep.
And I think the one thing to note early is with the new block scheduling in the Big Eight, Craig and Parker are used to playing, maybe a month apart, something like that. This is 2 games in 3 days, so we'll see if that has any effect on what's going on today.
Hit to right field. Garvel is under it. He's got it for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down for Stone. And the Parker Vikings. Tresson Kussmaul, the junior, had a couple of hits in Tuesday's game.
And like I say, the one thing that it kind of detracts from this game, or the 2 games this week, is because of the postponements.
Right.
They've got several other games, so it's not just Parker Craig this week. You've got 2 or 3 other games as well.
Opening pitch to Kussmaul is taken high for a ball, 1-0. Weather better today than it was on Tuesday, I think. Pretty good. Another packed day of high school athletics. 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike taken by Kussmaul.
Talking to Bob Shank earlier, the groundskeeper here, we both agreed this is as many scouts, Major League scouts, as we've seen at Riverside in a long time. So
okay.
Obviously, I'm certainly Jake Campbell's the one they're looking at, but again, there's some good players here.
Grounder to short. Burkett has it, flips over to Nemitz at first. 2 up and 2 down as Kussmaul is retired. Routine play for Burkett. Stone on the mound for the Vikings. Casey has pitched 9 innings in 2 games. He's 1-0, has an ERA of .77 and a whip of 1.3.
Yeah, he was dynamite against La Folle at Pleat game. He threw strikes. And again, you're going to make plays behind them. All you can ask your pitchers to throw strikes and give yourselves a chance, and that's what he did. And I think that's why Brian felt that the Parker would build off of that against Sun Prairie, and they never did.
Campbell started off with a change of pace from Stone, drops a little bit low for ball 1. 2 down for Craig in the top half of the first inning. As Campbell swings and misses for strike 1, 1-1.
A lot of pressure on this man's shoulders, and these scouts know he's good. I mean, he's played enough summer league on his AAU teams that they know, but he's probably pressing a little right now. There's a lot of scouts in the attendance watching him today.
There's a hit to short. Burkett comes up on him, waist high. He sticks with it, throw down to first, but Campbell beats it. Probably going to be an error charge to Kyle Burkett.
Yep, an error, and again, that's one thing the scouts will notice right away is that Jake Campbell can run.
Yes, he can. He's got a couple of stolen bases on the year.
There are not a lot of catchers that are going to beat that out. A misplay by Burkett and kept it in front of him, but the speedy Campbell able to beat it out. And again, we'll see with two outs and a speedy runner. We'll see if Vic gets the wheels in motion here.
Luke Malmanger, the first baseman, had 2 hits in Tuesday's matchup. Campbell takes a couple of steps as Malmanger takes ball 1, but retreats to first base. Malmanger always dangerous to hit the ball hard. Outfield playing pretty much straight up.
7 games in is all, but right now Malmanger clearly their most consistent hitter right now.
That's outside corner for strike 1. 1-1 the count. 2 down for Craig. As the crowd's starting to filter in here and there. Again, normally a 7 o'clock for that second matchup, but we're in April, not May.
Right, and the reason being is because the weather forecast for later tonight was not great.
Campbell goes. He's in there with a stolen base as the throw short hops. Schneider at second, Burkett with the backup. Malmanger took it for ball 2, but Campbell down to second.
Not that there was rain or anything in the forecast, but I think they just felt like at 9 o'clock, 9:30, and a lot of times if there's a game before this, it doesn't get started right at 7. Maybe it's a 7:30 start, and by the time you end up, it's in the lower 40s or so, and they just figured, let's play it at 5 o'clock, and the weather will be nice.
2-1 pitch. Malmanger right over the head of second into right center. It gets through. It's all the way to the warning track. Malmanger at second. He's rounding and going for third. Craig's got the lead. Campbell scores, and Malmanger in there with a triple.
Once again, Craig taking advantage of those little opportunities, and that's what good teams will do. Parker should be out of the inning up there batting right now, but an error. And then Malmanger hits the gap, and you look up, it's 1-0 Cougars, just like on Tuesday.
So Malmanger with a triple and an RBI as Campbell comes in. And now the batter will be Noah Berghammer.
And I think that ball skipped a little bit on Jordan Bailey when he went to pick it up. But still, I mean, you got to give him a triple. But if he's able to field that cleanly, he might hold him to a double.
Curveball strike one taken by Berghammer. Walked twice on Tuesday. 1-0 Craig on one hit. And an error in the inning as well. Here's the pitch. Another curveball taken. Good movement from Stone on some of these.
The curveball's coming over, and obviously now 1-2. If he throws that again, he doesn't want to throw it in that spot. He'll want to keep it outside or down low or something. But right now, his curveball looks good.
0-2 pitch upcoming. Here it is. Another curveball. That's hit into right field, but right at Garvel. And Parker will get out of it with no more damage. So 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 man left for Craig. We go to the bottom of the first, but the Cougars have the lead at 1-0. So Noah Berghammer on the mound for Janesville Craig. Going to be pressed into service today. Berghammer, on the year so far, has appeared in 6 games, pitched 7 innings, given up 4 hits, 1 earned run, struck out 7, walked 4. He's got an ERA of 1 and a 1.4 whip. Hitters are batting just 154 against him.
Threw pretty well against Burlington. I think he gave up an unearned run early on an error. And a case again where it was pretty tough the first time through the order, and the second time when Burlington got a little more looks at him, they scratched a couple runs across. But I would say a pretty productive outing for him on Saturday.
Berghammer over, taken by Burkett for a strike. It's 1-1. His first offering was taken outside. Burkett 1 hit yesterday, one of Parker's 4, walked to lead off the game, and as Coach Martin had said in our pregame, the only walk of the game for the Vikings offensively. 1-1 pitch, curveball, strike 2 in there taken by Burkett. That had a big sweep on it.
And this is a guy that Parker's got to get going. I think that was only his, second hit of the year, I believe. Yeah. And your leadoff hitters got to find a way to get on. And he's a good hitter. He'll come around eventually.
Here's the pitch. That's hit back right to Noah. Runs a couple of feet off the mound. Underhands to Malmanger. 1 up and 1 down on a comebacker. 1-3 on the putout. Jordan Bailey, the center fielder. Also 1 hit from yesterday. 1 hit in the top 2 spots apiece for Burkett and Bailey, and then Carter Schneider continuing to play well in that 9 spot.
Yeah, I mean, the production's there in the bottom of the order, but now they've got to turn around and get it from the top of the order, and obviously easier said than done. But if that can happen, and once those guys get a little bit more, I guess, comfortable at the plate, because let's face it, the weather hasn't been the greatest the first 3 weeks of the season, where it's tough. You hit a ball off the handle or something, it stings, it stays with you. So hopefully when the weather breaks, so will the bats will break open a little bit as well.
Berghammer's first offering taken down low. Ball 2 in the dirt, and it's 2-0 on Bailey.
Bailey, of course, heading to Bradley, and a guy that's got a decent start to the season. I think he's hitting over 300 and finding ways to get on base, and certainly when he does get on base, he can run.
He's got good pop, good arm in the outfield, and speed. He's got a lot of different tools. Here's the 2-0. That's hit in the air. It's to center. Brennan calls it to the left of center, and there's 2 up and 2 down. And that will bring up Sam Garvel, the right fielder.
Another good athlete. I was impressed with him in the secondary playing football, and
for sure,
a kid that got some all-conference recognition last year in baseball, and he runs well. That's the one thing. The Parker's first 3 kids can all run.
Opening pitch from Berghammer into the windup, taken down low for ball 1. Majority of the Vikings in the stirrups today.
Now, why didn't get your response on their tops?
You're the opinion expert over here. I'm just calling the game.
Well, I guess the thing that bothers Murph and I the most is, when did they get away from the
green and gold?
From the Kelly green and gold. I mean, now these are primarily black.
Yeah. And, Craig has done some of that in some of their different sports as well, which
I know. I get that. I mean, it
blue,
started with
red,
the whole
white.
Misty Bass thing back in basketball when they kind of implemented that third color, but
I'm with you.
I don't like it being the dominant color.
1-1 pitch, and is in the dirt, blocked by Campbell. 2-1 to Garvel. I mean, I like the old school across the chest kind of banner sort of thing, but if that's the color scheme you're going to go with.
And I don't know these days, do kids pick out the uniforms?
Good question.
Or the coaches, or if it's something the kids wanted, then hey, that's what they get.
Third on a hop. Overly has it, stays with it. Long throw against the diamond, but no chance to get Garvel hustling down the line. I'm not sure he would have had him to begin with, but nevertheless, Garvel on with 2 outs for Cade Bowman.
Well, a very similar start for both teams. 2 easy outs and then an error.
Mm-hmm.
So difference being is not many teams are going to run on Jake Campbell. So Garville probably Parker's, I would think, one of their quicker guys. But with 2 outs, your 4-hitter up, I'm not sure you just don't let Cade bat and, don't risk the chance of running yourself out of an inning with a strong throwing catcher behind the plate.
Bowman at the dish. Lead for Garville at first. Here's Berghammer's first offering. It's ripped to left but pulled foul in the outfield for strike 1.
Bowman, another one struggling at the plate right now. And again, we've seen these guys hit in the past. We know what they're capable of, but they're just right now, whether they're pressing or they're just not comfortable, whatever the case might be, he's hitting 118 right now. And Cade Bowman, I can tell you right now, is a much better hitter than 118.
0-1 pitch. Berghammer steps off before he goes into his windup out of the stretch. 2 down. 1-0 Janesville Craig, bottom of the first here at Riverside. Now he's back on. Garville away from first. Malmanger not holding him. I was wondering if we're going to see a snap throw here. Garville got pretty well off first base there, but Malmanger came about 2-3 steps off the bag.
Well, Mike Brooks was coaching first for the Vikes, and Mike and Pat Campbell are best of friends, so I'm pretty sure that Booker knows all about Jake's propensity to throw back to a base, so I don't think he's going to get too far off.
Curveball 1-1 taken for strike 2 by Garville. So Bowman behind 1-2 as Garville on first.
And if Garville's going to go, it's a good pitch to go on. He may throw something off speed here to try to get Bowman. So if he's going to go, I got to believe it's going to be here.
Here's the pitch. He doesn't. Curveball stayed inside, almost hit Cade, but he didn't move and stayed in there. It's 2-2. 2 down. Parker and Craig meeting for the second time this season. They wrap the series.
Stand's starting to fill up.
Yep. Grill smells good.
It does. I hope Shank delivers.
2-2 pitch. Oh, high fastball. Just got a piece of it. Sends it back to the screen. 2 down. Parker with a runner on, trying to even it up. Bowman trying to make good on an at-bat here and get just his 3rd hit of the season. He's only got 2.
And just like Malmanger, if Bowman hits one to the right center field gap, he can run all day.
Yep, for sure.
That's why I've got to believe that whatever pitch is coming, they're going to try to stay in on his hands and get him to pull it, and hopefully just a lazy fly ball somewhere.
Brennan playing left of center, halfway between the 375 dead center and the scoreboard. Here's the pitch from Berghammer. It's popped up. Who wants it? Blomgren and Overly. Blomgren calls off Micah at third. Now he's got to back up and grab it, but Craig gets out of the inning with no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. We're through 1 here at Riverside. It's Craig 1 and Parker nothing as we send it to Mike Austin, who's out at Marling Homeworks here on WCLO.
So Echelon is more than kitchens, you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Come have fun with us at Marling today at the end of your day. Mike Austin on the road as we get some kitchen cash going. WCLO.
All right, thank you, Mike. Back here at Riverside. First pitch for the top of the second to Clark Schmaling, the designated hitter, is taken for a ball. We'll check in with Mike here in about 15 minutes or so. Again, out of Marling Homeworks until 6. This one's over from Stone. Drops low for a ball. 2-0 to Schmaling. Schmaling hitting for Jacob Hessling, who's out at second today for Janesville Craig. Wind up and the 2-0 coming from Stone. Inside. Tailed in a little bit.
Almost hit him.
Yep.
Yeah, they're probably yelling, you play hockey or take one for the team or we've got ice or something, whatever they normally yell when they want somebody to take a ball to the ribs, which I've never understood that.
3-0 pitch from Stone is in the dirt, and a free pass issued to Schmaling to lead off the inning. And that will bring up J.J. Brennan, the center fielder. So runner on first, Craig up 1-0, top of the second.
Center fielder, J.J. Brennan.
Second inning here, nobody out, and your leadoff runner on. We'll see if Vic elects to play small ball, and once again, Vic Herbst nowhere near the coach's box, which
not a surprise.
Should be thrown out of the park completely, but they won't, but that's okay.
I think that's in the scouting report, usually.
It is.
Look for the coach to be
round third and try to hit your coach. because he's nowhere near the coach's box.
Opening pitch inside corner for strike one, taken by Brennan after Stone checks on Schmeling at first.
And after 4 straight balls, that might have been a take right there.
Oh, for sure.
To see where he's at. Now we'll see if anything's in play here.
Brennan also advancing to the next level in college, going to go NAIA, play some football.
Play at Judson.
Yep.
Yeah, they got a nice program over there. I was talking to somebody and said the facilities are great. And,
awesome.
They're a national powerhouse in NAIA, so a good fit for JJ. And that's, a kid that stuck with it, had a great summer, and caught the eye of enough people. And one of them was a judge and coaching staff, and he's got a future now. That's great.
Curveball down low, taken by Brennan. 2-1. As Stone has missed on his last 2. Schmeling over at first. Mike Overly will bat next. Here's the pitch. Swing and a high foul ball that's getting over towards the line, but Garvel into foul territory. He's got it. Nice over-the-shoulder catch by Garvel heading towards the foul pole.
Yeah, it was. I thought when that ball was hit, I'm like, well, that's going to go foul, but he's got no chance of getting to it, and it just hung up, and Garvel used his speed to get over there. The ball was foul, but still an opportunity for Schmeling to tag, but he chose not to, and 1 out for the Vikings, and that likely take the bunt off, and I'll be surprised if Brody Klukas maybe doesn't back up a few steps unless he feels like Overly might try to lay one down.
Another quick check on Schmeling. Boy, that was pretty quick over
there.
there.
Good move there by Stone, yep.
Overly worked 2 walks in his pitching role when he was in the box yesterday. Or on Tuesday, rather. Here's the pitch. Outside, taken for ball 1. 1-0, 1 down here in the top of the second. Craig with a 1-0 lead over Parker. Overly not many at-bats so far this year, but they're going with him over at third today. There's the hit and run. It's hit to second. Steps on second, does Burkett. Just about 2 steps away and an easy double play for Parker to get out of it. So 6-3 unassisted as Schmeling is out at second, Overly out at first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left as we head to the bottom of the second. It's still 1-0 Janesville Craig over Janesville Park. Josh and John back at Riverside Park. Check in with Mike Austin at Marling Homeworks. After the bottom half of the second, due up for Parker, Sam Nemitz, Casey Stone, and Jaden Ellis.
That last play for the Cougars in the double play grounder there, that was a hit and run that
yes, it was.
Just Overly hit the ball right where the shortstop was going to cover second.
Yeah.
So, that ball's 2 or 3 feet left or right. That's a perfect hit and run, and Schmeling's standing on third.
But a double play to get Parker out of it. Now the Vikings, here in the bottom of the second, trying to draw even, get at least 1 hit on the board. Berghammer's first pitch to Nemitz, called for a strike in the outside corner, taken by Sam. Parker dugout, fired up to try to get something going here. That one off the end of the bat, foul over the Parker dugout into the parking lot.
Well, that's why for Craig not so much. It is because it's Parker Craig, but for Parker, this is a big game. For a lot of reasons, not just because it's your crosstown rival, but you won't see him again.
Right.
It's certainly if you lose twice and it comes down to seeding, you're going to be seated lower than they are, and there's a lot of variables in play here today, especially for Parker. Confidence-wise, and if you can knock off the number 1 team in the state, you can build off of that. And like I said, when they played poorly against Sun Prairie, they've got a chance this week to bounce back. Right now they're 1-1 and a big game today.
0-2 pitch was taken for a ball. Here's the 1-2, high and outside, taken by Nemitz. 2-2. Leadoff batter for inning number 2 for Janesville Parker. Vikings behind 1-0. Berghammer gets what he wants. 2-2 windup and the pitch. Over for strike 3 called, and Nemitz is gone for out number 1.
Kind of a delayed strike 3, but it looked pretty good from here. Now, again, we're sitting up top a little bit, so we can't tell. We can tell it comes over the plate, but we don't know what height it comes over. But
Campbell was already thrown down to third.
He was, and I think with 2 strikes, you better protect.
So 1 up and 1 down. Stone, the pitcher, will now bat. And the opening pitch from Berghammer is in there, taken for a strike.
Not expecting Casey to pull the ball at all because that gap in left center is enormous.
Yeah, right. Stone on the year so far. Looks like he's got only one hit as well, but he's only had 3 at-bats. There's a bouncer, short hop to third. Overly has it, throws over to Malmanger, and that is out number 2. So 5-3 on the putout. Good job by Overly staying down on it. Strong throw.
Yeah, learned his lesson from the previous error that,
right.
Let the ball come to you if you have to, and if that's the case, then just stay in front of it and keep your hands level, and that's what he did. And nice, strong throw to get Stone. And
2 up and 2 down for Jaden Ellis, the left fielder. A couple of strikeouts yesterday. Here's the opening pitch from Berghammer. Swung on and popped up. Is it going to stay in? It doesn't look like it, as it's just makes the grass and bleacher area out there.
9 scouts just grabbed their head, even though they yelled heads up. Never got that one either.
No.
Can you explain that one to me?
Look up so you can
yeah,
get
how
hit
about
right in the
look
nose.
up so you can see the ball coming?
Yep. 0-1 to Ellis to start things off. Also a lefty, couple of lefties in this lineup, Nemitz and Bailey. And now Ellis, here's the pitch, way outside, taken for ball 1.
And probably home to third or, first to third, probably not many quicker than Jaden Ellis.
I would agree with you.
If he can ever find the gap and become that consistent guy that can put the ball in play, he's quick enough to do some damage.
1-1 pitch. Little curveball that dropped down low.
I think both with Stone and with Berghammer today is they both work fast, and I like that. Of
course you do.
Any pitcher because, you get in a rhythm, which Berghammer seems to be right now, and you just want to throw.
2-1 pitch. There's a hit right between short first and second and into right field, and Ellis is aboard with a 2-out hit.
And he's going for second, and with his speed, he'll make it.
He's in there.
A base hit.
He's pumped up, fires up the dugout.
An error on the right fielder on the pickup, so you got a runner in scoring position for the Vikings.
So delayed in from Kussmaul. Charges an error to the Cougars.
Yeah, went to pick it up and just lost the handle. And once Jaden saw that when he rounded first, he was gone. And like I said, with his speed, he made it easily.
So runner at second in scoring position. First hit for the Vikings today, and that will bring up Brody Klukas. Berghammer checks Ellis. Nobody's holding him. Comes to the plate. A little bit low for ball 1.
Big spot for the Vikings here with your 8-hitter up, a guy on second, because with Ellis' speed that anything in the outfield that's a hit, he's going to score.
Klukas yet to get a hit in 5 at-bats this year. So this would be a big one if he can deliver and tie this game up, possibly. There's a hit to left center. It's in the gap, running over for it. A diving attempt not made by Brennan. It's going to be a tie ball game. Klukas is going to hold at first base as Ross March was over there to pick it up. Heck of an effort by Brennan. Couldn't get it, but Parker ties the game on a single from Klukas, his first hit of the year.
Yeah, I'll give you the good and the bad there.
All right.
Big clutch hit there from Brody Klukas, but he's got to be on second.
Yes.
I mean, when the outfielder dives and doesn't come up with a ball and it rolls away, you can't stand there admiring your hit. You got to run, and he should have been on second right now. But credit to him for a big clutch hit like I talked about. We're back to even, and that's big for Parker.
2 hits for the Vikings in the inning. And here's the pitch now to Carter Schneider. He's had 4 hits in the last 2 games for the Vikings.
Yeah, he's their hottest hitter right now. Yep. And, boy, when you can get that from your 9 spot, that's good. You just got to get something more from the bottom of the order, or from the top of the order.
0-1 as Carter takes a strike. Here's the follow-up from Berghammer. Way out in front was Schneider. And now it's 0-2, Berghammer ahead of him. Klukas is on first.
He is not a threat to run. He's had about 19 knee surgeries. So,
no,
credit to him for sticking with it and coming back. And, his senior year, he come up with a big clutch hit against your crosstown rival. So, again, that was a big at-bat for Parker.
Here's the pitch. It's blocked outside by Campbell. Klukas stays put, but it's 1-2 on Carter Schneider. Back to the top of the order after him. Schneider trying to stay hot in that 9 spot for Coach Martin. Here's the pitch. That's a hit right up the middle, and 2 runners on now. Easy little swing, punches it right over second base for Schneider. Another base hit for the sophomore.
Yeah, and I think right there more than anything, I don't think Berghammer, I don't think that pitch was where probably Pat Campbell, the pitching coach and the one calling the pitches, I don't think he wanted it there. I mean, like you said, Schneider just stuck the bat out and a little blooper into center field. But, hey, the scorebook, they all look the same,
man.
Josh.
Yep. So now back to the top of the order and Kyle Burkett.
When I used to hit the home runs in softball playing with you and you'd get a single, it would, we'd still just get the same thing, basically.
That's a high fastball. Check swing by Burkett. Did not offer. Well, when it reaches the fence so fast, I can barely get to first base.
Saw you thrown out many times, yep.
1-0 the count to Burkett. Parker ties it up in the inning. Here's the pitch from Berghammer. Swung on and hit to left, high in the air. March going to have to come towards the foul line and in a bit, but he's got it to retire the side. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left on base for Janesville Parker after an inning and a half. The Vikings, or after 2, the Vikings have tied it at 1 apiece.
But what about, Joe's? I don't know that anyone is actually named Joe Schmo, but if they are working this weekend, going to do a little project at home on their own with the help of Marling's designers, I'm sure, and you got the supplies?
We do have the supplies. We can help out that do-it-yourselfer.
All right. Can we play with the drills and stuff later?
Sure.
All right. Come and see us. It's the Marling WJVL WCLO Kitchen Makeover. Come get your kitchen cash, and it's free. You get your kitchen cash card. Is that what we're calling that? Kitchen cash card. The more you get, the more chances you have of winning $15,000, right? Worth of stuff.
That's a heck of a I'm sorry, I said bathroom, but I meant kitchen.
Yeah, well, it's a heck of a kitchen. $15,000 of stuff for your kitchen. Mike Austin at Marling. Very professional today, aren't I? WJVL WCLO.
All right, thank you, Mike. We're back at Riverside. Already 1 pitch, 1 swing from Ross March, the left fielder for Craig, bounces to third, and Klukas throws him out for the Vikings. So 1 up and 1 down, back to the top of the order, and Dan Blomgren, who's ahead in the count 2-0. And here's the pitch from Stone, inside 3-0. Blomgren with a fly ball to right field to lead off the game. Top half of inning number 3, and takes a walk on ball 4. 4 straight from Stone, and a base runner for Janesville Craig. That's the second walk issued by Stone this afternoon.
Second walk, and both of them were 4 straight. So
we'll see if Kusmal takes a pitch here.
We'll see what happens. Blomgren, great speed at the top of the order, and you're now getting to the meat of the order.
Kusmal with a grounder to shortstop back in the first. 1 out. Here's the first pitch taken right over the middle. Heart of the plate for strike 1. 1 down. And a runner on for the Cougars. 1 apiece, top of the third down here at Veterans Field. And here's the pitch. Backhanded, low and outside. Check on the runner, and Blomgren is back. One pitch. Hit in off the handle.
Oh, Vixter.
And pulled foul into the waiting hands of Coach Herbst, who is
just proved that
disappointed in his performance.
He couldn't hit the floor if he fell on it.
1-2 the count to Kusmal. And runner goes, and a little swing of the bat and a tap by Kusmal to second. Quick play from Schneider. Out is at first, and Kusmal is gone, but Blomgren over to second.
Well, normally I would say with Jake Campbell up, I would say with a base open and 2 outs.
Put him there.
Put him on. Malmanger's their hottest hitter right now, and, he proved that last time up with a RBI triple to right center. So I guess more than anything, I just don't want to put anything in his wheelhouse.
Right.
If you do walk him, that's fine. If you can get him to hit your pitch, so be it. But I wouldn't get anything too good to him right now.
Runner on second is Blomgren. First pitch in the dirt, blocked by Bowman.
Although I don't think the 319 scouts would probably be happy with an intentional walk, but.
1-0 the count. Here's the pitch to Campbell. Rips that right by the left ear of Coach Herbst.
And that's his.
Holy mackerel.
That's what he gets for not standing in the coach's box. He almost got decapitated by his own player.
He ducked out of there real fast.
And, that swing was indicative. It's just a matter of time before Jake snaps out of it. He's just too good of a hitter, and at some point he's just going to go off on a number of opposing pitchers. The Vikings just hope it's not today.
Pickoff move to second. Blomgren is back.
Because he got in a groove late last year where everything he hit was just a seed, and it didn't matter. It might have been an out or something, but everything he hit was hard, and, eventually that's going to come.
1-1. Here it is. Curveball upstairs. Stays high on Campbell. 2-1. Jake ready to go. Stone in there as well. Nobody holding Blomgren at second. Now Stone steps off.
I got to believe if I'm calling pitches right now with a 2-1 count and a base open, probably going to go off speed outside and hope that he chases.
There's a hit to left. It's high. It's far. Ellis is back. He's at the wall, and that ball is gone. A 2-run homer for Jake Campbell, and Craig takes the lead 3-1. That was a high, deep bomb.
Well, I said it was a matter of time before he snapped out of it.
Think it was
I didn't think it would be at that at bat,
okay.
But I'm not surprised. I mean, he's just, again, that kid's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders. I mean, they're talking about him being a top 5 draft pick, and I'm sorry, for a 17, 18-year-old kid, that's a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm. So Campbell with a homer. It's 3-1 Craig. Malmanger swings at the first pitch. It's popped up to second. Schneider is under it, and that will be out number 3. So for Janesville Craig, 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. We head to the bottom of the third. Craig strikes and now leads 3-1 as we will send it back again to Marling Homeworks and Mike Austin. We're back at Veterans Field. Ready to step in is Jordan Bailey for Parker's bottom of the third. Craig with a 3-1 lead on the strength of a Jake Campbell home run to left field, going opposite and pulling it and going deep. Way over the 361 sign out there. Berghammer starts out Bailey with a ball outside. Go ahead.
I'm going to have to, and again, every coach is different and you have your reasons, but
wondering why he saw a pitch?
Yeah, I'm wondering, why he saw a good pitch to hit. I mean,
yeah, right.
With a strike on him, you got him to chase one. I wouldn't have given him anything, but to Jake's credit, he got one to his liking and just hit an absolute sky bomb to left field.
2-0 pitch by Berghammer taken for a strike. It's 2-1 on Jordan Bailey.
And maybe, we don't know, maybe Stone, that wasn't where it was supposed to be. Maybe it was supposed to be outside. He just didn't make the right pitch. But needless to say, it's a 2-run homer, and the Cougars back in the driver's seat.
Strike 2 taken by Bailey. Not happy with that one, but a 2-2 count. Sam Garvel and Cade Bowman also due up this inning.
And we'll see if the Vikings can answer because, again, you don't want to fall behind the Cougars.
Here's the pitch. It's fouled off over the dugout of the Vikings, third base side. Bailey with a fly out to center, and now Campbell going to talk with Berghammer a little bit. Craig with both teams play again tomorrow. Parker with an off day on Saturday. Craig scheduled right now to play 2 more.
Right.
We'll see if that happens, as we said earlier. 2-2 pitch from Berghammer. Wind up. Here it is. Curveball hit to first and past the glove of Malmanger. Skipped off the dirt, but a hard hit ball and a single into right by Jordan Bailey.
Hit hard and took a bad hop, but that's a tough play for Malmanger to make, even if he does field it. So leadoff hitter on for Parker, and they did a little damage against Noah last inning. So we'll see now if the meat of the order with Garvel, Bowman, and Nemitz can plate a couple runs here and get the Vikes right back in it.
4th hit for Parker on the day. Bailey fairly fast. We'll see if he tests the arm of Campbell as Garvel takes ball 1 in the dirt, blocked by Jacob. 1-0. Bowman due next.
Burlington with a rare 3 stolen bases against Campbell on Saturday, but not his fault. They were clearly off the pitcher, just didn't do a good enough job of keeping him on, and one was a delayed steal, which I know irked Coach Herbst because the Craig just wasn't expecting it, and again, that was part of the 30-minute post-game lecture that he gave him, and I think lesson learned for the Cougars.
Strike 1 taken by Garvel. 1-1 now, Berghammer on Garvel, the right fielder. Bottom of the third here at Riverside. Here's the pitch. High, taken for ball 2. 2-1. Craig with only 2 base hits, but one of them counts for 2 runs.
Yep.
Parker with 4 in the hit column with that leadoff single by Bailey here in the bottom of the third.
And it just tells you that, I think you and I both felt when that ball left the bat that it was going to be deep, but I thought probably stay in the park, and, it easily cleared the park.
Down low, taken for ball 3. 3-1 on Garvel. Nobody out, leadoff runner aboard in Jordan Bailey.
Biggest pitch of the game for Berghammer right here. You certainly don't want to put the first 2 runners on with your cleanup hitter coming up.
Here's the pitch. It's inside, and Garvel works a walk. And that's the first walk issued by Berghammer. But that's 2 men on and nobody out for Parker with Cade Bowman at the plate. Bowman with a pop out to Blomgren at shortstop in the first inning to end that frame.
Cougars up in the corners. Melmanger way up, expecting a bunt.
Throw back to second. Runner is in there as Blomgren squeezes in behind Bailey.
Third inning, you're down 3-1. Nobody out. With your cleanup hitter up,
Right, you got 4, 5, and 6 due next.
I got to believe that they're going to let Cade hit here.
Nobody holding Bailey. Now squares to bunt. High fastball. Pulls back. Taken for ball 1. 1-0 to the cleanup hitter, Cade Bowman.
Brian Martin giving a rash of signals down there, and I'm glad that Parker went away from the cards. I don't like those.
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan of those. You don't see them in the big leagues, so why do high school kids and some college programs have to use them? I've never understood that. To me, giving signals is part of the game and part of baseball lore.
We've got a meeting of the minds here on the mound for Janesville Craig, as I believe that's Pat Campbell out there.
It is. Pitching coach Pat Campbell out there just to kind of, I think, more than anything, calm Noah down. That's 6 balls in the last 7 pitches, and right now I think when you watch him, he may be rushing a little bit, and I think he's just going to tell him, look, calm down. You got a 2-run lead, throw outs, and let your defense make plays behind you.
All right. Meeting breaks. Fielders head back to their positions. 1-0 is the count to Cade Bowman. Runners at first and second, nobody out, bottom of the third. Craig with a 3-1 lead. Bowman steps in. Berghammer has the sign, comes set out of the stretch. Here's the pitch. Malmanger charges as Bowman squares to bunt, but it's taken high for ball 2.
And I think the bunt, more than anything, was just a decoy to – I think he was taken. I think with where Berghammer's at right now, he's having trouble finding the strike zone. And, because Malmanger's way up, and it looks like right now Vic's telling him,
Another square. Here's the pitch. It's laid
great
down.
bunt.
Left side. Berghammer's got to go get it, throw over to first, and can't handle it. Coming over is Hessling.
So a sacrifice bunt. He'll reach on an E1, and the other 2 runners will advance on a fielder's choice.
Bases are loaded with nobody out. And that's the 3rd error for Craig.
Yep. A play that you got to make, and I think Noah had time to set himself there and make that throw, and he kind of rushed it a little bit, and it one-hopped, and Hessling couldn't get a grip on it.
So now Sam Nemitz, a strikeout victim with the bases loaded, and an opportunity for Parker to at least tie and maybe take the lead here. Opening pitch from Noah's up high for a ball. On a fastball taken by Nemitz. Nemitz caught looking. And do we have action down there, Murph? Action in the Craig bullpen.
I can't tell who it is from here.
Right. Here's the pitch. Taken, strike 1 by Nemitz.
Tegan Christensen warming up.
Okay. Christensen in the bullpen.
He'll come in and throw strikes.
1-1 the count to Nemitz. Bases are loaded, nobody out for Parker. Here's the pitch. Nemitz fouls one back to the netting. Upset with himself at that swing.
Yeah, that was a good pitch there. I think Sam will be the first one to tell you that he's got to put that one in play somewhere.
1-2 the count. And here comes a big pitch from Berghammer, trying to get One out for Craig. Nemitz trying to deliver. Here it comes. Curveball. Half swing into left field. March is going to have to go towards the line. He's got it. Runner does not tag. Throw comes in pretty quickly. And there's one out with the bases still loaded.
Yeah, nice, great play there by March. Caught it on the run, but quickly set himself and got the ball in. With nobody out,
wasn't too deep.
No, it wasn't too deep. I mean, maybe with one out, it's a play you try to score on, but I think Parker's got enough confidence here that Stone can at least get the ball in play and give him a chance to score.
So now Casey Stone steps in. Here's the opening pitch from Berghammer, over for a strike.
It's interesting to look at teams' defensive alignments like the case here. I mean, it's just you never see a gap that big with a right-handed hitter up against a right-handed pitcher, but there's just a huge gap in left and left center, and he don't even have to hit the ball hard and the thing's going to roll to the fence.
Here's the 0-1 in the dirt, blocked by Campbell.
And I think Stone's only had, 5 or 6 at-bats this year. I don't think he's had a lot of them.
Stone for this year has 4 plate appearances and 3 official at-bats.
So that's advanced scouting, and that's why you do it, but that is a really big gap out there.
1-1, the count. 1 out. Double play gets out of it. There's on the outside corner for strike 2. 1-2 to Stone.
Stone's got to find a way to put a ball. He's got to hit the green somewhere here.
This would be a
strikeout here would be very detrimental to the Vikes.
Jaden Ellis on deck. Wind up. Here's the pitch. Curveball taken. Strike 3. Stone goes down. Second K for Berghammer. And now 2 down with the bases loaded for Jaden Ellis.
And he set him up. Berghammer set him up with that previous strike that was, a fastball.
Out,
and then he came back with a slow curve, and Stone was frozen. So now it's up to Jaden Ellis, who got the big hit and scored their only run, but a little different story now for the Vikings.
Swing and a miss. Strike 1 from Ellis on the first offering from Berghammer. Bailey at third, Garvel at second, Bowman at first. Now 2 outs for the Vikings. Here comes Berghammer again. Curveball. Hit up along first. Malmanger's got to get it, and Ellis is going to run into the tag, and Craig gets out of it. Parker cannot score with the bases loaded and nobody out. Wow, no runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 3 left on. We're through 3 innings at Riverside. Craig 3, Parker 1. All right, thank you, Mike. Back at Riverside Park, ready to go. And Stone back on the mound. And Noah Berghammer will lead the leadoff batter for the Cougars. First pitch in the dirt. Taken for a ball by Noah. Clark Schmaling and J.J. Brennan also due up this inning.
We'll see if that last half inning comes back to haunt the Vikings, because anytime you get bases loaded and nobody out and don't score, that hurts. And that's now 6 left on for the Vikings through 3 innings. And against a team like Craig, you've got to manufacture runs. You've got to find a way to do that, or you're not going to win very often.
Another low and outside ball skips away from Bowman. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and that's taken down low for ball 3. Berghammer ahead in the count on Stone, and you hope Casey's not real rattled after that.
I was just going to say,
strikeout.
Josh, you read my mind. You can't take, it works the same way out in the field too. I mean, you strike out, you can't take that out onto the mound with you, and we just saw that he did there with 4 straight pitches. So all 3 of his walks today
4 straight.
Have come on 4 straight balls. So, you hate to do that, but again, it comes down to that mental approach, and that's what both coaches have talked about. You've got to let things go. I mean, in baseball, you're going to fail 7 out of 10 times most of the time, and you got to put it behind you. And unfortunately for Casey, not a good start to the top of the 4th.
Berghammer walks to lead it off. Now Clark Schmaling squares to bunt, pushes one up along first, but Nemitz is going to let it roll foul. And we'll do it again.
Now, you played a lot of first base. Do you pick that ball up and get the out, or do you want to let him hit? Because he could have picked it up fair and easily got the out.
And it would have been an easy out.
So you got a runner on second with 1 out, or now you've got first base and 1 strike but nobody out.
I don't know. In softball, it's a lot harder to turn a double play.
I think I play for the out there. It's
kind of taken out where you can get it.
Well, not only that, but, he just given up a 4-pitch walk.
There's a curveball upstairs.
I think I want to get him back in a little comfort zone and taken out, so we'll see.
1-1. Pitch on that curveball that's taken high by Schmeling. J.J. Brennan on deck. Nobody out, lead batter aboard. Here's another square. Now a fake snap throw, but Nemitz is off charging in and has to back off.
Yeah, nobody there to take the throw.
And that was taken for a strike?
Yes, it was a strike according to Mr. Murphy. So it's 1-2. So that'll take the bunt off, and Klukas backs up at third. Nemitz will stay at first and hold.
Here's the pitch from Stone. Curveball hit right between short and third. And now 2 runners aboard, and it gets by Ellis. It's going to get almost to the track. A run's going to score, and holding at second will be Schmeling. Boy, costly error by Jaden Ellis leads to a run as Berghammer comes in to score, and now it's 4-1 in favor of Janesville Craig. Yikes.
Well, again, I mean, it's something you got to talk about, but because, again, you don't take the out, and now all of a sudden you got a runner on second with a run in and still nobody out. So, you know, every team's different, every coach is different, but I just think sometimes you overthink, you know, and just make the play like you're taught to do. And I think in that case, Parker had been better off taking the out.
Another squared bunt. Brennan lays one down left of the mound. Nobody goes to get it. Stone can't get off the mound, and Klukas was back, and now runners are going to reach first and third with nobody out, and the inning continues.
Yeah, that's a base hit. I mean, and Klukas, you know, took a bad jump on that, and things are unraveling for Casey Stone right now, and Brian Martin's going to come out and try to settle him down. But, again, it's just the little things that start to add up. And when you're playing a team like Craig, you can't give them extra outs, and you certainly can't give them more than 1 or 2 unearned runs.
Overly with a fly out to right field.
Brennan,
I checked that. He hit into a double play.
But on a hit and run. But Brennan runs well here, so a good spot for Craig to try to, with a runner at third and runner at first, nobody out. I would think a good time for Craig to maybe get the wheels in motion here.
Ball 1 up high. 1 run is in. Here's the pitch from Stone. Outside corner for a strike. 1-1. Runners at first and third again. Nobody out for the Cougars. Ross March due next. And then back to the top of the order. Parker hoping for at least a double play and get out of here with minimal damage. Here's the pitch. Overly slaps one foul up along first. And it'll be 1-2.
And 4 runs for Craig, and right now 2 of them unearned. So instead of a 2-1 game, you're looking at a 4-1 game, and you're still in a lot of trouble with first and third and nobody out. So again, those things add up, and good teams will just find a way to exploit that, and that's what Craig does. And you look up and you think, God, it's a pretty close game, and Craig's on the verge here of busting it open.
High and outside, taken to even it up at 2-2 on Overly. 4 hits for the Cougars, 4 for the Vikes, but Craig was with 4 runs.
And I think the thing that stands out on the board right now is 5 errors.
Right,
I mean, that's
total.
We're only in the 4th inning, and
Curveball
really uncharacteristic for Craig to sit there with 3.
Curveball taken high to run it full now on Overly from Stone. No action in the Parker pen, it looks like.
No, that would lead me to believe that if they do make a change, it'll come from somebody already playing a position.
There's a foul third base.
Probably Garboil would be my guess.
All right.
He hasn't pitched this week yet, I don't think, other than maybe a relief inning. But
played on Tuesday, came in and pitched for an inning.
You know, everybody else, if they were going to go to the bullpen, I would think somebody would be warming up. So
3-2, check back to first, and Brennan is back in with a head-first slide. Overly followed by March. Still nobody out in the top half of inning number 4. Here's the pitch from Stone. Fouled away. Just got a piece off the end, did Overly.
Now, the pace of the game slowed a little bit,
Yes,
Josh,
it has.
And I hate to inform you this, but if it goes too long, I may have to cut out because evidently the Rock County Rage are thinking of moving up in the draft to select me, and I'd like to be there when the call comes. So
make sure of it.
Yes.
Here's the pitch. Hit in between. A diving stop by Carter Schneider. Play is at first for the out. Run scores, but a great play defensively by Schneider to get Overly over at first as the runners move up to second and third.
Run scores. So an RBI fielder's choice for Overly, and it's now 5-1.
So now Brennan is at second. Schmeling comes in. And now Ross March will be the batter. It's 5-1.
And clearly a contact play there. As soon as the ball was hit, Schmaling took off, and Craig up 5-1. And again, you don't want to get too far behind the number one ranked team in the state. And the Vikings are in a big hole right now and not out of this one yet.
March takes a ball. Now lines one right back up the middle. Bailey's charging, and the runner will hold as Bailey fires one over the head of Bowman. Nobody's back to get the ball, and now Brennan will come in to score, and it's 6-1.
So a base hit. Brennan goes to third on the hit, and he'll score on an E8 as Bailey emailed the ball over the catcher's head, and if Stone's where he's supposed to be, nobody scores.
And March advances to second on that error.
So that's the second time this inning Casey failed to cover where he's supposed to be. And again, you hate to hark on what happened the previous inning, but I'm afraid that strikeout the inning before with the bases loaded may have come back to bite him a little bit.
Second error in the inning, third hit in the inning. And now a runner at second with one out. And here's the pitch from Stone outside. Now back to the top of the order and Dan Blomgren. So one out, three are in for Craig. It's 6-1. And here's the pitch. That's hit right to left field between third and short. And Ellis's throw comes in right on the bag at third, and quickly retreating is March. And to first base after his first hit today is Blomgren, a sharp single. So another hit, 4 now in the inning for Janesville Craig, and now Kussmaul will be the batter.
Parker got to find a way to stop the bleeding right here, or it's going to get away if it hasn't already.
That was a smash.
Yeah, they're hitting. Now the second time through the order, it's a little different, and a lot of times with pitchers, that's what happens.
Squares to bunt, pulls back, does Kussmaul, but takes a strike.
You have the advantage the first time as a pitcher because they haven't seen you, but the second time they kind of know what to adjust to and what's coming, and that's what you're seeing right now as Craig has strung together 4 hits this inning.
0-1, snap throw to first, and the runner is back. 1-1 the pitch, or the count, to Tresson Kussmaul. Runners at first and third. 3 are in, 6-1 Cougars. Top half of inning number 4, there's 1 out.
Vikings need a double play here.
Yeah, they do.
Craig hits a gapper here, and the Vikes are in all kinds of
There's
trouble.
a rip just left of third between Coach Herbst and March. And it's 1-2 to Kussmaul, who also hits the ball hard.
Vic has decided that next game he'll be wearing full body armor, as that's about the third ball that about took his head off.
Yes, it is.
Get in the box, Herbst.
Runners away from the bases. Stone's curveball is hit to center. Bailey's got to go to the right side a little bit. He's got it. Runner will tag. Bailey's throw comes in. It's cut off. Run scores, and it's 7-1. Blomgren stays at first, but there's 2 outs.
Yep. And remember, this all started with a leadoff walk. So,
yes.
Again, it's an old adage, but it's true. Walks will come back to kill you, and that's what's going on here. It looks like
4 are in.
something
And
going on here.
Kussmaul with out number 2 on the fly. And now Coach Yacher and Coach Herbst convening with Blomgren and also Jacob Campbell.
Not sure what they're telling him here with 2 outs and a runner on first.
A little bit of strategery.
Not sure what that would be all about, but we'll find out, I guess.
So Campbell coming to the plate. He's driven in 2. He's also scored 2 runs. He's got a homer and a stolen base. Not a bad performance in 2 at-bats.
But like Mr. Murphy said, maybe they got together and said, hey, another one of those balls over the fence would be really good right now.
That's some good coaching there, I think.
That's great strategy, I think.
7-1. Opening pitch to Campbell is in the dirt, blocked by Bowman. It's 1-0. And we've got time called as a ball comes in now from the Parker bullpen.
Somebody's warming up now.
Yep.
I can't tell who it is.
And again, it would be a great sponsor, the Parker Pen, if that were still a thing today.
That would be. You could have the Cougar Den for the other one.
Perfect.
So there you go.
1-0 pitch coming from Stone. Here it is. Blocked again, low, and the runner takes off. Throw down, and he got him. Delayed steal from Blomgren on the throw, and a good throw by Bowman.
Perfect strike
to end
Bowman
the inning.
there.
And now Campbell will lead off as Blomgren is caught stealing. So for Janesville Craig in the inning, 4 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors, and nobody left as we go to the bottom half of the 4th. It's now 7-1 Craig. As we are back to play now in the bottom of the fourth inning for Janesville Parker.
Leading off for Parker in the bottom of the fourth inning, third base.
It'll be Brody Klukas, Carter Schneider, and Kyle Burkett back to the top of the order.
Funny how quickly games can change.
Sure.
Parker's down 3-1 with the bases loaded, nobody out. You think, boy, they're a hit away from tying it up, maybe taking the lead, and now you look up, they're behind 7-1.
Here's the pitch. Swings at the first offering, pulls it foul. Does Klukas. Just foul. And it's 0-1. Decent crowd down here.
Yeah, it is. Great night for
Great
baseball.
night for ball. Pitch is outside, even now at 1 apiece. On Klukas, he had an RBI single to drive in Parker's only run in the second. 1-1 pitch from Berghammer. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Parker with 4 hits, matching Tuesday's total here in the bottom of the fourth, but they're behind 6. Pitch. Curveball. Outside corner. Strike 3 called. Berghammer's 3rd strikeout today, all caught looking as Klukas goes down to start things off.
I looked upstairs, but again, with 2 strikes, you got to protect. We don't have the best angle up here about where exactly it's coming over the plate. It looked high, but again, with 2 strikes, you got to protect up there and try to find a way to get on.
So now here's Carter Schneider, 1 for 1. And the first offering taken for strike 1. And then back to the top of the order, and Burkett.
Schneider continued his torrid week with a hit his first time up, so he's a kid that I think the future is pretty bright for him.
For sure. And he's made a great play at second.
In the field, yeah. Yep. Great play.
Diving stop. Strike 2 on the outside corner taken by Schneider. He's behind 0-2. And here's the pitch from Berghammer. Hit in the air. Right field side, foul. Malmanger tracking. It's still in play. And he's got it near the fence for the out. Nice play by the first baseman, showing a little range. Malmanger.
It was, and for some reason, balls in the air to right field are kind of dying.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just not kind of hanging up there.
So Schneider is down. 2 up and 2 down for Kyle Burkett. Back to the top of the order for Parker. This is where the Vikings kind of got in a mid-game rut on Tuesday. Went down in the order a couple of times. Rips that one foul. Third base side by about maybe half a foot.
I wonder at some point if Coach Martin thinks about maybe flip-flopping Schneider and Burkett just to try to get Kyle going a little bit. And, he's struggling right now. Two hits for the year and 0 for 2 today. And, you just want to get him some confidence because he's at some point you hope he snaps out of it.
0-1, wind up in the pitch. Curveball. Popped up. Lazy little fly for Blomgren at short. 3 up and 3 down for Janesville Parker. We're through 4. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. As we go to the top of the 5th here at Veterans Field. Craig still on top, 7-1.
Out of propane. Good news, though. Blackhawk Propane has you covered with super speedy tank fills and the best prices around. You're back to grilling in no time. Blackhawk Propane reminds you to get your tank filled. Visit Blackhawk Propane just south of Viking Lanes in South Beloit or at blackhawkpropane.com.
Blackhawk Propane.
First offering from the lefty, getting some action in place of Casey Stone. Now a lefty is Jared Emerson. He'll be doing the pitching. See about defensive substitutions here in a second as Jacob Campbell leads off. It's 0-1. Campbell pulls one foul for 0-2 quickly. So Stone is done, and Emerson is in, the sophomore. Doesn't look like anything's changed around the field.
I don't think so. I think everything else is set. And Emerson's a kid that's got some talent. He hit a grand slam earlier in a JV game to win a game for the Vikings and swings a bat pretty well. And I think he's a kid they feel like can help him on the mound as well.
Campbell with his second straight hit bounces one wide of third between third and short. He's going to be in there with a real big hustle double.
Yep.
Jaden Ellis just got to it a little bit late. Campbell never turned off the Jets.
No, he did not. And, again, that'll impress the scouts.
So Campbell in there with a double to lead things off. And now Luke Malmanger will bat. Runner in scoring position already with Craig. You're thinking Cougars might want to slam the door here.
Yeah, I would think so. And, if you're Parker, obviously the last thing you want to see is to get 10 run. But things got away from him quickly here today.
Pitch by Emerson is high and away from
one or
Malmanger.
two plays, one or two pitches, a couple of decisions that, again, I'm not going to second-guess anybody. But, when they look back, they may realize we might have taken a different route than the one we took.
1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Upstairs on Malmanger, 2-0. We'll have Bucks basketball for you later on.
When tonight?
In a do or die.
I think they do.
Yeah?
I think they win. I think they're a better team just because
So do I.
everybody's hurt for Boston, but they don't play like it on the road.
2-0. Up high, maybe a little bit tight on Malmanger. 3-0.
Denzel Ward. That's who the Packers are taking.
Okay, corner out of Ohio State who
do you
can
got?
hit.
Who do you got?
Man, I'd really like a pass rusher, but Ward,
Vita Vea?
Vita Vea, the D tackle from Washington. That's one position they don't need. Four straight balls to Malmanger, and he gets a free pass. So 2 on for Janesville Craig with nobody out, and now Noah Berghammer will be the batter. Now they don't need D tackle, but that doesn't mean that it'll stop him from taking it.
Well, there is talk of him moving up, so.
Well, a lot of misinformation this
I know.
week.
Well, I've heard 900 different number one picks, too, so.
Berghammer squares, pops one up, foul in front of the Parker dugout, and it's 0-1. Now, you're a Dolphins fan.
I am a Dolphins fan.
What
I'm hoping Josh Rosen.
You guys
I'm
need a
hoping
quarterback?
Josh Rosen
All right.
falls or we move up, and if not, maybe take a flyer on Lamar Jackson out of Louisville. But,
okay.
Dominican Sue is gone, so if the Vega kid from Washington is there, I wouldn't mind him. But, again, I've heard so many different things that I don't know what to believe anymore.
All right.
Not a Tannehill fan, though.
No, clearly not. 0-1, squares again, runners go. The ball's taken for a strike, but everybody advances on a double steal.
Yeah, perfect pitch to pitch on or to go on, and Emerson took a little long on his windup there. And
2 runners in scoring position now. Second and third, nobody out. Berghammer, though, behind 0-2. Tell Bob I'm not buying that reason.
I'm not either. I just put lame.
0-2 pitch is high. Tomahawk foul out of play right field side by Berghammer. Clark Schmaling is due next. Still nobody out. Craig up 7-1, and Parker in danger of giving up a couple of extra runs here.
Yeah, Mr. Campbell right now has been on base all 3 times with a 2-run homer, a double, stolen base, 2 stolen bases.
And 2 runs scored.
2 runs scored. And
curveball fouled away again.
Could be 3 shortly.
He's at third. Malmanger at second. Not many steals for the big guy, but hey, in a double steal, he'll take a free one.
Actually, Malmanger's that's probably his 5th or 6th of the year. He had 3 one game.
Let me go check the book here. Here's the pitch. Slapped off the glove through Carter Schneider. He gets it, throws over to first to Nemitz for the out after it careened off of Emerson's glove. A run scores. Malmanger to third. It's 8-1, but there is 1 out.
Now, I got to ask Tom Murphy, did the runner take off on contact or did he wait until the ball got past the pitcher? Huh? On contact. So give Berghammer an RBI there on a fielder's choice ground out.
Okay. RBI and a fielder's choice. Technically 1-4-3.
Yep.
After it went off of Emerson's glove. 1 out, and another square and a bunt, and a push towards the Craig dugout, first base side foul from Clark Schmaling.
That was a safety squeeze there, which if he gets that down,
Malmanger coming in.
He can trot in easily, yep.
So 1 out as Campbell is in, but it's 8-1 and an 0-1 count. Malmanger, stolen base. He's got 5. That was number 6.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. Well, only because I know he had 3 in one game because I typed in the box score.
That one taken down low. 1-1 on Clark Schmaling, the DH, who is 1 for 1 with a walk today. He's also scored.
You got to remember, I think the Cougars, the first 3 games, were averaging about 12 steals a game.
Right.
So they were on pace for about 400 stolen bases for the year.
Pitch taken up high for ball 2. 2-1. We're in the top half of the 5th inning. and it's 8-1 Cougars with the ninth runner one base away. The ninth run, I should say. Emerson comes set. Here he comes to the plate. Swing and a grounder to third. Going back to the base is Malmanger. Throw across to Nemitz in time to get Schmeling as Klukas makes the play. And there's 2 down for J.J. Brennan. And still at third is Malmanger.
You know, for Parker right now, you're down 8-1. You're not likely to come back just because you haven't proven all year that you can put that kind of a run together with your batting average and everything. So I think for them it's important to get quality at bats, what you got left, make plays in the field, and, don't allow any more, damage from the Cougars. And, are you not likely to come back? You're going to get swept by them, but hey, there's worse things in the world to get swept by the number one team in the state, and you're not going to see them again until probably tournaments. So a lot of things can happen between now and then.
Strike one, and now a hit to center in front of Bailey, and it's going to be 9-1 as Brennan drives in Malmanger with a base hit. So an RBI from J.J. Brennan, and he's at first. Still a runner on, 2 down for Micah Overly, and 9-1.
And that's, you look down Craig's lineup right now, that's the 6th different player with an RBI, and that's big. I mean, that makes a difference. Tegan Christensen's going to hit here for Overly. And
all right.
My guess is may stay in the game unless they feel like Berghammer can keep going. But
there'll be a double switch, I'm
sure.
sure.
Double switch, I would imagine.
So Christensen will bat here in the 5th inning. As Overly did get an RBI, but was 0 for 2. 2 down. Runner at first is Brennan, and Christensen on for the Cougars. Emerson's pitch, high and tight on Tegan. 2 runs are in for Craig, and 2 hits in the inning as well.
And nothing better if you're a Craig player than to break out of your hitting funk with 8 hits against your crosstown rival Parker. And
ball is taken high, 2-0 on Christensen.
8 hits through 5 innings or 4+ innings. And, again, a lot of times you'll see it just takes one game sometimes to get you going. And if you're Craig, you hope this is a start of getting those bats going and keeping them there.
There's ball 3 taken by Christensen. 3-0 on Tegan. Emerson, the lefty, on in relief of Casey Stone. And here's the pitch. Taken for a strike. 3-1. 9-1 Cougars. Here in the top half of the 5th. Tegan ready. Here comes Emerson. And here's the pitch. Runner goes, but it's a walk. And runners now at first and second as Christensen draws the walk. And Ross March will be the batter. And if our engineer, Mr. Stricker, could check the stream, we seem to have been booted off in anticipation of Bucks basketball. First pitch to Ross March is up high for a ball.
Now, I know you'll be dialed into the NFL draft.
Yes,
correct?
I will. This is basically one of my holidays. I usually take off work for this.
I'll be at work
typing
this story and many other things, but I think if I have control, the Cubs and Brewers will be on.
Yeah.
Which leaves the Bucks out of the loop, I guess. But
we'll have it here on CLO.
Yep.
So that's a lot of stuff going on.
Yep.
3 major sports in some sort of news today.
Yep.
Cubs and Brewers with a big 4-gamer at Wrigley.
8 in a row for the crew.
Yeah.
8 in a row.
But the injuries, man, just doesn't matter. 1-0 pitch. Fouled back to the screen by March. March is 1 for 2 today. He's also scored a run.
Well, I think the one they could afford was Thames because I think Aguilar's
he's hot.
He's good enough that he can play. Braun's there if you need him to. And, I think some other ones, certainly the pitching-wise may hurt a little bit more. But the bullpen's been lights out, so they really haven't missed Knable yet.
1-1 pitch is down low for a ball. 2-1. 2 outs. Runners at first and second for Craig. And the Cougars with a 9-1 lead. Top of the order due up after March. Parker trying to get out and close out the frame. Here's the pitch from Emerson. Outside, snap throw down to first. Not in time to try and get Christensen. 3-1 now the count. And looks like the stream has been put back.
I think Jared right now needs to worry about the hitters and just throw strikes and not worry so much about the guys on base and try to get them out of here.
High for a fastball, and he draws a walk, and the bases are loaded. So March with a free pass. Third walk in the inning. And now they're full
Brian
for Blomgren.
Making a tough spot. Sophomore, a big game like this, and it looks like that's going to be it for Emerson. And I believe that's Cade Buell that's going to come in for Parker.
All right, we're going to get a pitching change, so we will step out as Parker has a couple of switches. We'll see who's going to be thrown and where the defense shifts. We'll return after this from First National Bank and Trust Company. Cade Buell will be throwing for Janesville Parker, the lefty, as a mid-inning switch, and the base is loaded. J.J. Brennan at third, Tegan Christensen at second, and Ross March at first. 3 walks for Emerson in the inning. Gave up a couple of hits. 2 runs have scored. 9-1 Craig here in the top of the 5th.
Close the book right now on the starter for Parker as Stone goes 4 innings, 6 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned, 3 walks, and no strikeouts. So kind of a rough outing for Casey, but again, a good start. The error hurt him the first inning when he gave up the unearned run, but I think when they look back, it's deciding to pitch to Campbell that probably was the thing that'll stick out the most.
Dan Blomgren takes a strike. It's 1-1. Blomgren 1 for 2 today with a walk and a run scored. Got caught stealing to end the 4th. 2-1 as he takes one high and outside. Craig trying to maybe end this thing. Parker looking to get out of it and extend it. Down low, 3-1. So 1 ball away from walking in a run for Buell.
Yeah,
it's a strike.
And Christensen runs well at second, so if there's a base hit,
there's a strike. Run it full. Big pitch by Buell.
It'll be 11-1. So
full count now to Blomgren. He's already walked once today. Here it is. There's a hit to the gap in right center. Couple of runs are going to score. Sliding attempt made by Garvel, but it gets to the track. 3 runs are in. Blomgren's going to have a double on a 3 RBI extra base hit. And this thing is wide open. It's 12-1. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I mean, that was hit well. I mean, he just stayed with the pitch, went to right field. Again, so he becomes the 7th Cougar to drive in a run today, and that's what good teams do. They get production up and down the lineup, and that's the Cougars have done today. And again, for Parker, it got away from him. You know, I thought the last inning it got away, and today or this inning is just kind of adding insult to injury, so to speak.
12-1, top of the 5th, and an 0-1 count now to Tresson Kussmaul. Still 2 outs. Blomgren's at second, ball down low, 1-1.
And now you force Parker to have to score at least 2 runs when they bat if Craig doesn't get any more. And, it's too bad because Craig's not certainly 11 runs better than Parker on most days, but it's just one of those things where things kind of snowballed against Parker, and Craig got the bats going. And once they get the bats going with that lineup, they're going to be tough to beat.
2-1. Here's Buell's offering, and that's fouled towards the Parker dugout by Kussmaul.
Kussmaul, the 9th batter to hit in this inning. And Campbell on deck. I'm sure he'd like another crack at a bat as he's got a double and a home run and a reach down an error today.
So one thing about offense is that when you're hot, you want to hit. I mean, everybody wants to win, but I'm sure the other guys wouldn't mind another extra inning for an AB.
Right.
And that's a contagious hit to right. Garvel doesn't even have to move to get this one as Kussmaul flies to end it to right field. So it's do or die time for the Parkers. Vikings, 5 runs for Craig on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, Craig with a 12-1 lead. So Berghammer back at short as he exits. Christensen on to pitch for Craig. Blomgren goes back to his position at third. And Overly will exit.
Leading off for Parker, bottom of the 5th inning.
So for Parker, Chase Hamilton now will be the batter. In for spot for Jordan Bailey, looks like.
Yep.
Here's the first pitch, and it's hit to Malmanger. Luke bobbles it, and down the line, the toss, not in time, as Hamilton reaches on a hard-hit ball on the first pitch.
Got to be an error hit right at him. So
Yep.
an E3, 7th error of the game.
Yikes. So Hamilton aboard to start things for Parker, and he would be the tying run.
Tyler Gary is now batting.
Okay.
Tyler Gary.
Ryan
So
Martin going to empty his bench and
Seems
give
like
these
it.
kids a chance.
So Gary will hit in place of Sam Garville. High fastball from Christensen taken for ball 1. Runner on first is Hamilton. Parker needs 2 to extend it to the 6th. Right now down 12-1. And the pitch by Christensen in the dirt, blocked by Campbell. 2-0. Bucks and the Celtics coming up. Pre-game set for about 10 minutes or so. Tip-off not until 7, so hopefully we'll get you there for Game 6. 2-0 pitch in there for a strike taken by Gary. Parker with just 4 hits today, 4 hits yesterday as well.
Yeah, and 3 came in the second inning when they pushed the run across.
Right.
Thought maybe they're going to get something going, but
High and outside for 3-1.
But that's baseball,
Yep.
Josh. You know that as
You
well as
got it.
I do. You just
4 different players with 1 hit apiece for Parker, and 3 coming at the bottom of the order.
Yep.
7, 8, 9. Here's a pitch by Christensen, inside corner for strike 2. He's run it full. Now on Tyler Gary.
and the final line for Berghammer. Not a bad outing. He'll get the win, obviously. 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, a run. It was earned, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts.
Not bad. 3-2 coming up. Here's Christensen coming back. It's fouled away off of Campbell. Up along first. So it'll stay full now. 7 errors in the game, as both coaches would tell you that's pretty much unacceptable.
Unacceptable. And as you get further down in the season, especially in the postseason, for Craig, you look up with 4 errors, and usually that's not a good sign.
There's a hit to second. Chance for 2. Hessling to second. Relay over to first. Double play. Gary hits into a double play. 4-6-3. And there's 2 outs. Parker down to their final out. Down 12-1.
What I liked about that from Berghammer was he didn't rush it. He knew he had time.
He's got a strong arm.
He got a good enough arm, and he just took his time, made an accurate throw, and got Gary by about a step. So now we got Dan Curtis, another senior that'll pinch hit for Cade Bowman.
Okay. First pitch. Ooh, curveball. Good one. Good movement from Teagan just down the outside corner for strike 1.
Now batting, Dan Curtis.
So 2 down, Parker down to its final out. 0-1 curveball upstairs on Curtis. 1-1 the count. Wind up and the pitch. There's another curve in there for a strike.
And it's too bad, Josh, because, you and I both been around enough of these games where you don't want to see a game like this.
Nope.
I mean,
especially given these 2 teams.
Exactly. And you hope for a tight one and the better team wins, and today we just didn't see that.
Strike 3, and this ball game is over as Curtis goes down on strikes. Christensen comes in to close it out, and Craig with a 12-1 victory here at Riverside Park to sweep the season series from Janesville Parker. That's the final today. Post-game in just a little bit. We're back after this from Carpets Plus, Blackhawk Community Credit Union in Janesville mobilizing for change on WCLO Janesville Beloit and online at WCLO.com.